Hey, what is good, camp believers and high performers? Welcome to another episode of the Can't Believe I Made It podcast. I am your podcast host, Dezi Abeyta, as well as your high performance mentor and performance dietitian. So, this is part three of our series as we're diving into how to use artificial intelligence into not only just your day to day life, but also helping you to amplify those moments where you can really tap in to the physicality or the physical assets of your individual performance. In episode one, we kind of gave you an overlay of what you could picture over the next couple episodes inside of this four-part series, which, as I'm talking this out, I think I might have to make it a five or six. We'll see. I've been getting a lot of questions and a lot more engagement around how people are now using artificial intelligence for their performance. So you might see a part five or part six out of this series, because I think one of the really cool things about utilizing this is that not only are you getting opportunities to learn and to talk with artificial intelligence, but you're actually getting opportunities to create your own AI coach. And I think for a lot of you who have thought long and hard about, do I need to invest in a coach? That's entirely up to you. And my role here is to help you with the tools, because no one can replace the human touch. I said this in the last episode, in our second installment, where we talked about the mental performance aspects of this. You can't replace the human touch, because we all have limiting beliefs and we all have limitations that don't allow us to go out and compete in the way that we want to compete. And sometimes navigating an AI coach like this provides you with the information, but the information right now, especially more than ever, is already readily available. The application is what most people need. And this is what really sets us aside inside of not only what we're doing in our programs, but also what we're doing as a community, where we're looking for that 1% lift of how to get 1% better each day. And I feel like AI is a massive opportunity. So, inside of our week three, this is our flexing with AI episode. And for me, like, the way that I'm looking at it is, just as we flex our muscles in the gym, the world of tech is flexing its innovative prowess. And we're starting to see this, especially in the realm of fitness. So, in today's episode, we're going to explore how AI isn't just a tool for data scientists or the tech savvies or the tech gurus, but it is revolutionizing the way that we work with athletes, fitness enthusiasts, and those everyday gym goers, and how they approach their performance. And I think there's a massive opportunity here, especially as it pertains to not only your workouts, your recovery, or your overall fitness journey, but helping you to get some of those 1% lifts. And so in today's episode, we're going to be diving into the fitness aspects of AI and how you can utilize this for your individual performance. Now, we've been showing you tools and creating prompts for you. And so I created a couple prompts that I think are going to be relative to things that you can start to explore, but I created one prompt. And as I'm talking this out too, we just got back from New York. For those who were able to listen to the last episode, I had a horrible experience with the barber there. So I'm back in Arizona. I'm going to my barber that I've been going to since I was 13 years old. I'm super excited about it. So if you catch our stories, you're probably going to see my fresh new cut. But I told you, since that happened, it's been, I'm wearing hats until that happens. But anyway, coming back to this, we've been kind of showing you how to create these prompts. And on the plane ride back, I was just having an hour long and even more conversation with AI about, like, hey, if I'm building something for our listeners and for these people who want to optimize their sleep, optimize their nutrition, their fitness, and at the same time optimize their creative abilities, if we're creating a done for you type of prompt, like, what's the best way to ask you these questions? And so after multiple hour conversation with AI, especially, or specifically in this case with ChatGPT, I came across one that I really, really loved. And so I'm going to walk you through that process. Now, as we engage in this, and this is really when we look at safety, because if I'm not speaking to you about the safety aspects and about some of the limitations behind this, I'm not doing my job effectively. Now, first and foremost, if you have not worked with a strength coach, if you have not worked with the PT, if you're prone to injury, if you've not worked with an athletic trainer, I'm always going to stop you there and say, hey, AI is a fantastic tool. This is where you can ask questions, but at the same time, there's varying levels of how to use AI. once again, I don't even introduce this to people in my programs until they're at like the 6 month, 9 month, or even a year plus. So we're not really having those conversations until that happens. However, someone like myself who is 10 plus years into his journey with his relationship with fitness, nutrition, I would say that I'm fairly advanced. I don't have the acronym, your CSCS, which is your Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, but I've been around enough strength coaches to know how to do different schemes, how to do different workouts, how to structure a workout. So I already have that base knowledge. And so for you, if you're someone who's coming into this, and regardless of which level, this is a really good opportunity for you not only to notice and acknowledge some of your limitations, but this can be a fantastic opportunity for you to ask questions with, hey, if I'm looking to enhance or build on my current fitness regimen, what are some of the variables I need to understand? Because it's likely going to help you to understand if you can do some of the workouts, right? It's going to ask you about your past history. So it's going to do some of that same intake things that we're going to do. So anytime that someone comes into our programs, we actually have a form that they fill out that really sort of navigate helps them navigate, and helps me navigate if this person is ready for a strength training regimen. And so before we start any of this, I want you to acknowledge where you are in your place and make sure that as you're having these conversations, and once again, if you're not applying any of this knowledge but you're really loving this, you're really only doing 50% of the work, because it's the same thing. If the information is readily available for you and what you need is the application, this is where I would push you to actually be taking some of these prompts and actually be tapping into ChatGPT. Again, there's a slew of other different AI tools, and we're going to actually help you to understand what some of those tools might look like today. But again, if you're not having these conversations, ChatGPT is the very baseline. There's so many builds, and there's so many bots that are coming in that you can take advantage of. But at the ground level, this is a fantastic place to start. All right. So all that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you do so. Each and every one of these episodes in our show notes, we have the links available for you, not only to go into our YouTube channel to subscribe, but go back to the last episode so that you can get some guidance and some visual. Because for me, I'm a visual learner. That's just me. I that's how I view my world. Is I gather information. If there's visuals, I'm definitely going to take on it. I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to provide my take, or really how I want to interact with the information, and then I'll go out and go test. And that's what I would encourage you to do as well. And that's why we are making sure that not only on our Spotify channel you can see these videos, but you can also see them inside of our YouTube channel. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will get to it. All right, here we go. All right, so let me go ahead and go full screen here so that you can get a little bit more of a background. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start a new chat here. I'm gonna go to my GPT-4, and I actually had a prompt that I wanted to use. Like I said, I found one that I really loved, and so we're gonna go ahead and use that one today. So let me go ahead and read the prompt to you. We're gonna need to fill in some of the information, because once again, it's the same thing that when you're working with the coach, you're gonna need to be specific about some of the things that you need. One of the biggest things that I tend to find when I'm working with people is when we leave the metaphorical money on the table as it pertains to your performance, it means that we're not being specific enough. Because if you're coming to me and you're like, hey, I just want to get faster, I'm going to shoot back like, okay, what does that mean? Or I just want to be healthier, or I just want to be more creative. Like, however you're coming to me, I'm going to have a follow-up question for you. So for you, it's imperative for you to understand not only what sort of questions to ask, but also getting clear with what do you actually want to achieve in this journey. All right, so we're going to get clear with that today at the very base level. So I went ahead and prompted AI. I said, hey, AI, I'm a 37-year-old male acting as a strength and conditioning coach specializing in power, speed, mobility, and recovery. So I'm setting the stage for ChatGPT here. I'm setting the stage of not only what I'm looking for, but the type of hat that I want AI to wear in this case. All right, because that directive is super important. So from here, I'm looking to, and this is where you can insert the goal. So what you're seeing here is enter specific fitness goal. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and write in, I'm looking to become a better athlete because where I'm at in my season of life, I really just want to be able to go out if I get invited to do, you know, I still would do tackle football if I got invited. My wife's not going to love to hear me say that because she's really concerned about being responsible in our parenthood. But if I got invited to a turkey bowl and we were playing tackle, as November comes up, I'm down with that. But if I got invited to let's say a flag football league or something like that, I want to know that I can go out and run routes. I want to know that I can go out and compete. And it's the same thing if I got invited to a pickup basketball game, if I got invited to a 10-mile hike, if I got invited to go do something that I don't usually do. We recently just got back from New York, and my father-in-law is this like professional pickleball player somehow. And you know what? The last time that we played, he whooped my ass. So this time around, I was like, no, 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 no. I'm going to try to compete today and try to make sure that at least the loss is not as big. So I'm always just trying to become a better athlete. So I'm looking to become a better athlete, emphasizing the things that I mentioned. So it's going to ask you as well, and this is inside of the prompt, or at least the prompt that we created together. So it says I have equipment specifics. So for me, like in my garage gym, like I have the full gamut. I've been working on it since before the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, it was a nice, honestly, it was really nice transition because I was already using my garage gym when the price of literally every single friggin' equipment, workout equipment, became like 10 times more. So, I have a barbell, full full gym essentially, etc. And can spend, and this is a big piece here too, and this is where I want you to acknowledge some of, not only, I don't want to frame it as your limitations, but I want you to acknowledge where you are right now because this is where we can create progress. I mentioned this in episode 1, and this is my favorite saying when I'm talking to an athlete or I'm talking to an entrepreneur or I'm talking to a tech savvy individual. Your best ability is your availability. You're not available if you're injured. Okay, that's the key thing that we need to focus on. So if you need to start at a lower level, that's fine because we can build there. Where we can't build is if you try to overshoot what you're doing, you get injured, and then before you know it, like this plan just went out the window. Believe me, I've been there. And I'm thinking about this now as we're talking about it because Squattober is coming here in a couple days. So I've been really in a pace of I'm going to build a really good layer over the last 3 months. I've been traveling a lot. I'm in a new season of my life. Let me also just be honest with where I'm at. Okay. So I can spend, and this is me personally, but you're going to be able to fill this out yourself. We'll make sure that we put this in the show notes. I think another piece here that we're going to do this next episode is provide you with a running list of prompts that I think would be incredibly helpful for you to enhance your performance, taking a look at your sleep, your nutrition, all of our pillars. So stay tuned for that. We'll make sure we put that in the show notes. So I can spend, I would say probably right now, like 60 minutes, 60 minutes daily, 60 minutes 5 times a week. Let's go 5 times a week. All right. That's just kind of like like I said, I'm getting ready for a really cool strength program coming up. So I'm gonna say 5 times. Let's just go with where I was. Let's say 3 times a week. What would be a sample workout for 7 days for me? All right. So as it looks at it, it's gonna go ahead and take it. So it's gonna take a sec here, and then it's gonna spit out what it's going to provide for us. All right. So I actually used an enabled plugin, and I think this would be really cool to take a look at. This is kind of an added level for you, but they do have plugins that I think are really cool that offer you opportunities to utilize AI in a different way. So I went ahead and used a plugin called Go, but it actually didn't use it. So this is perfect. So this is just ChatGPT. All right, so let's go at what we have here. All right, so let me provide you with the sample 7-day workout plan emphasizing power, speed, mobility, and recovery tailored to your specifics. All right, so this is your AI coach. You know what's been really interesting too, as this is building, and we'll go into it in a sec. I'm finding, and I was literally just talking to a collegiate coach that his right now his program doesn't have the finances to be able to bring in a strength conditioning coach, to bring in a sports dietitian. So I was asking him what he was doing for his athletes, and he was like, dude, ChatGPT. Listen, like, this is where there's a lot of opportunity here. And if you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about and you know how to tailor some of the AI coaching to what not only what you're working on, but if you're also a coach to what your clients are working on, this is where I think, once again, this is a really cool opportunity. All right, so as we go through it, day one is a power and strength. So we got a warm up, 10 minutes, barbell squats, 4 sets of 6 at a heavy weight. Again, this is where it speaks to the level that you're at, because to someone who was brand new, if you look at day one and you're like, all right, well, warm up is 10 minutes of dynamic stretching and light cardio. What the hell is that? I don't know what that means. Barbell squats, 4 sets of 6 reps, heavy weight. What's heavy weight for me? So again, it really speaks to the level that you're at. Now, this is just a base level. We can actually tap into that. So let's say if I said day one, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste here. And I said, hey, AI, can you provide me with more information? I'm a novice weightlifter and I need more guidance on day one. So let's see what AI provides us with, right? So that's what I asked for. So AI, as your AI coach, goes in and says, all right, cool, let me go ahead and do a tap in or a click in to day one. So warm up, 10 minutes of dynamic stretch and light cardio. So it gives you like, hey, here's what dynamic stretching is. These are active movements where joints and muscles go through a full range of motion. Examples could include leg swings, arm circles, or torso twist. Light cardio might be a brisk walk, light jogging, or even jumping jacks. All right. So from there, that's where it really dives in. And once again, I think that if you're starting, this provides you with a really cool base level. Now, let's take what we have here because there's a lot to tap into. And once again, we'll make sure that we put this prompt and you can run this prompt through ChatGPT so that you can see what it provides for you specifically. But I think what's really cool with when we're looking at some of the tools out there is exactly what's being offered. So let me go ahead and share another screen for you so that we can take a look at what's offered here. So this website is gpte.ai, and it gives you and discovers the latest trends in AI. And so what I think is cool about this, I'm going to just go ahead and type in fitness, and it gives you a bunch of different posts. The first one that came up was Fit Wizard. So this is where you can generate your free workout routine just with the use of AI. So once again, this provides you with some tech. This provides you with some opportunities here. Now, I have not personally used Fit Wizard. I think as I'm talking this out, I'll likely take a deep dive and do a post about it. But I want to do a click into one that I've actually used. And I think this is what really sets it apart, because sometimes when I'm coaching someone, they don't they need guidance on what movements look like, what movement patterns look like. And so usually what I'll do is I have a strength conditioning coach that's inside of our program, and one that I'm actually starting to train with how to utilize AI so that not only we can utilize the human touch and the creativity of our strength coach, but now he gets to utilize AI in the same way that I am, where I'm like, hey, I'm just really trying to scale what I can do. And so from here, and this is what I really like, and you'll see here in the image right here that it actually provides you with an image of what the workout looks like. And I think if you're someone who's coming into this and you're like, you know what, I'm not really sure how to utilize this, I think it's really cool. So the name of that app is Fitness AI. So there's a ton of people using it right now. I think they looked at 5.9 million users right now. So this is one that's growing. And I actually found this through an ad on, because our phones are always listening to us, which I don't know how you feel about that, but I do think it's funny. I'm not really talking any dirt, so like I don't really care, to be honest. So your fitness AI, I think, is a really cool tool. And once again, I think if we're looking at it from the standpoint of helping you with some of these 1% lifts, this is an opportunity where I think not only at the very base level, you can start having these conversations with AI, but even moving forward, you can start thinking about different ways where you can maximize your potential and your performance through AI coaching. And if you're someone who needs that human touch, obviously that's where we come in. And if you have no idea how to work with us, you can find it in the show notes. What I love about this process is anyone who is reaching out to me where it's like, hey, what would it look like to work with you? We sit down and we actually create a plan for you. And we start to create a roadmap of, hey, does this feel aligned with you? Are we vibing? and then we kind of go from there of like, this is what a program would look like over the next 3 months. Because right now I'm really at a place where I work with people more in 3 month parameters, because to be honest, that's where I think people really shine. And if I'm being perfectly honest too, it actually gives me as a coach, like, do I want to continue working with this person past 3 months? So it's just the way that I've seen my evolution as a coach anyway. But anyway, so all that being said, I hope this was super valuable for you. It's something that I'm continuing to learn about and something that I'm really enjoying. As we head into this next phase, or rather this next episode, and into part 4, I think what's going to be really cool is we've been really touching on the performance aspects, your habits, your rituals. But I would not be doing my job for you if we also didn't start discussing what it would look like for you to get a creative endeavor off the ground. Because let's be honest, like, we're all pouring into something that we really love. And I think what I really love about working with athlete entrepreneurs and working with entrepreneurs just in general, and speaking to entrepreneurs, is that we all have this creative outlet inside of us, and some of us don't really know how to get there inside of the step work. And this is what we do inside of our programs as well. But I think using AI of getting an idea from an idea into a system, it's the same thing that we're doing with your performance. We're creating an opportunity for you to understand, here's the long-term goal, this is how we reverse engineer back, and these are the milestones to get there. It's no different when we're getting an idea out of your brain and on paper into a system, and then pushing you to start showing up for that idea. So that's what we're going to discuss in this next episode. I hope this was valuable for you. I'm excited to get my haircut tomorrow. So in this next episode, you're probably going to see me super fresh. All right, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's get it.